So this may be a controversial one, but I truly believe right now that being nice is actually setting us back. And when it comes down to building a revenue generating brand, right, we have to understand there's a big difference between a personal brand and a revenue generating brand. The idea of your personal brand is sort of the perception of how you are based on your interest, what you decide to put out online, showcasing your hobbies, your likes and dislikes, and overall just a better depiction of who you are as an individual. But then when you incorporate the idea of a revenue generating brand in order for you to reach a level of brand authority, as I speak about often, that is a mix of your personal brand, your business brand, and your campaign brand, right? Those are the three brands that you need to align in order to get to a level of brand authority that makes you more visible and credible to your desired target audience. And in the grand scheme of things, the personal brand, you could be positioning yourself as someone who is a nice person. But as a disclaimer, I want to say that I believe, anyway, there is a big difference between you being a nice person and you being a kind person. And, it took me quite a while to kind of get over the sort of idea of the two. And in most cases, it was sort of blurred and blended when I was sort of navigating, life, I would say. And all my life, funny enough, I was always considered to be a nice person. And obviously, from the lens of your personal brand, that is always something that is good. It's always good to know that people look at you as a nice person, right? And in some cases, that could lead into them thinking of you as a kind person in general. But I do believe that the idea of being nice is something that is perceived by others, whereas you being kind is something that's innate within yourself. You would know when you are striving towards being a kind person because it's something that is naturally you, as opposed to being nice. It's something that you sort of go out of your way to do because it's just a nice thing to do, but then it's sort of the underlying notion of it being a kind thing because it is something that you would do regardless of the situation at hand, right? But then with the idea of being nice, that is where the aspect of framing becomes a very important thing that we are going to discuss today. Because I want you to be aware of this because, like I said, I spent my whole sort of life in that aspect, whether it's my career or in business, being perceived as a nice person. But then if we focus on the aspects of when I was working a 9 to 5 per se, me being nice or me being told I was nice throughout the whole process never led to any additional opportunity. And when I say opportunity, it didn't necessarily lead into more money. It didn't lead into any promotions. And all it really did in the grand scheme of things is it led to more work, right? You get the job done the way it needs to get done. You do a good job at it. And on top of that, you're also a nice person. You can get along with people. You know how to hold a conversation. You're very much a bubbly, friendly person within the workspace and within the working environment. So, with that idea of things, you're nice. And for me, that was something that I would argue kept me stuck because despite the elements of me being a nice person and portraying myself as a very nice person within that environment, it wasn't something that was rewarded with additional opportunity. All it really led to was more work. And then, in that sense, a lot more stress in the aspects of things because it just became a thing where work was synonymous with being busy, right? And the idea of being busy also led to the idea of because I was being a nice person, it was something that arguably it was positioned where we could ask Tariq to do this or to do that because he would do it because he's a nice person. So if you see where I'm going with this, the whole idea of being nice, I think, is very sort of overrated in that sense. I feel like it will set you back if you kind of focus your ideals on just being a nice person. Because as far as business is concerned, and as far as building a revenue generating brand is concerned, you need to have more about you. You need to have more about you. You need to have leverage. And you having leverage is you being able to have proof of the work that you are able to deliver, and to be able to effectively stand on business to reinforce and emphasize the impact that your work has to do within, whether it's a work environment or an actual client that you're working with. So by no means am I saying do not be a nice person or just stop being nice altogether. But I want you to understand that being nice alone is not going to cut it when it comes down to building a revenue generating brand. As mentioned, your personal brand is one piece of the puzzle. And by all means, you showcase your true, authentic self to the world in the way that makes the most sense for you. Because when it comes down to being able to produce said content and being able to put your best foot forward when it comes down to showcasing that level of authenticity, you don't want to be pretending. You know what I mean? You don't want to be pretending to be someone that you're not, because it's only going to lead to burnout, and it's only going to lead to sort of a lackluster approach of when it comes down to developing a brand, because it's just not you. It's just not you when you're pretending to be someone you're not. So with that, you need to bear in mind that personal brand aspect. Bring your best self. Focus on you showcasing your personality in the best way possible. You then need to focus on that business brand aspect, which I mention all the time. Your personal brand gives you trust, and your business brand gives you that level of credibility. And in that aspect of things, credibility will always trump the idea of being nice. Because no matter what, even for people who may not even be considered as nice people, regardless of whatever people may think of them, they, on the basis of their level of credibility, will still allow them to unlock and open more doors and opportunities just off the back that people look at them and then they associate them with a level of business that can be done effectively, or a level of proof to showcase that you can get the work done in the best way possible. So no matter what, they're always guaranteed opportunities off of the back of their level of credibility and proof that they are the key person of influence and the obvious choice when it comes down to their work, right? So with that in mind, I really just wanted to do this video to reinforce and emphasize the importance of really understanding that your personal brand is important, but your business brand is just as important. And it's the idea of being able to incorporate and blend the two alongside of your campaign brand that will allow you to build that level of momentum to showcase who you are, what you like, what you dislike, why you are the obvious choice in your field, the proof, the testimonials, all the things that allow people to understand how well rounded you are as an individual, because they're able to see your personal brand based on the work that you're doing. They're able to see your business brand based on the impact you've made. And they're able to see all the things that you're able to commit to day in, day out off the back of that. So don't be in a position where you lose the frame based on the fact that you are pursuing the idea of building a brand on the basis of being nice. Because when you start to align your sort of personal brand and your sort of personality trait as being nice, that can be misconstrued in business. And then it can be something where you may be in a predicament where people may ultimately step on you because they just don't feel that you are at that level in comparison, because they navigate their sort of business endeavors in a completely different way. So I just say you need to have your wits about you when it comes down to building a brand, but then also incorporating that business brand aspect to ensure that you are also deemed a credible person within the whole aspect of things, to make sure that, yes, you are a nice person, but that isn't your be all and end all. Your main focus is having that level of credibility to showcase that you are the obvious choice that can get this work done. And in the realms of business, that is what people are looking for more than anything in the grand scheme of things. You being able to showcase yourself as someone very much personable and someone that they can like is a bonus on top of everything else. But in the grand scheme of things, people want to see results. And if your brand doesn't focus on elements of being able to showcase results more so than it is your personality and shining a light on your personality rather than what you are able to do, that is where it gets a bit blurred and mixed. You don't want to be in a position where you spend a considerable amount of time building your brand and then you sit there realizing why the opportunities are not presenting themselves or why you are not able to collaborate with certain people or work with certain people. It's just on the basis that you spent a lot of time on the thing that wasn't deemed high leverage in order for you to get to the next stage. So that's it for this video. Please let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you feel like being nice is an important factor when it comes down to branding. Do you feel that you being nice yourself has led to more opportunity or less opportunity? Let me know in the comments and it'll be interesting to get your thoughts as well. But make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace out. Look after yourself.